Can I get your attention? Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. I know you have a lot going on right now in your lives with finals and final projects and everything else. I also know how excited you are to be here tonight, so thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Hopefully you all registered via the app. Again, if you have issues after the fact, we'll take care of that. There's a survey we're going to ask you to do at the very end, which we very much appreciate. So thank you for being here tonight. Today is a big part of your orientation as far as going off campus. How many of you, show of hands, other than coming to college, obviously, will be living on their own for the first time next year? 2 of you? I'm guessing all of you, right? Or at least most of you. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. The real motivation behind this orientation today, beyond the lineup of speakers we have here today, and the speakers today will give you a full orientation on what it means to be an off-campus student, your responsibilities, some of the resources available to you, which is really important for you. But the real reason behind the orientation is for us to really tell you how important your safety and your health is as far as being off campus. When you're here at the college campus, you're kind of in your own little bubble here as far as, you know, you have a lot of support systems here. Everything's here for you. When you go off campus, you're now a resident of the state of Rhode Island and the city of Providence, right? So you're out there and there are laws and there are things that you have to adhere to. Simple things. And more complicated things. But things that you have to know. And these people here tonight will tell you about who they are and what they offer. We also have a couple of off-campus students here tonight who are going to talk about their experiences. They were in your seats last year, you know, so it's important to hear their perspective as well. At the end, we'll have a Q&A section, you know, where you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions. We're excited about, again, educating you and answering any questions you have at the end of the session. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to first ask Lieutenant Reddy of the Providence Police to come up and say a few words.
I know there's some questions that we want me to discuss on the orange sticker. I know you guys, I know there's only 2 of you moving off campus this year, but I doubt that. But just so you know, the orange sticker, when we go to your house and you have a party of more than 5 persons, that's it, 5. And if there's some other criminal offense associated with that. Now that could be public drinking, fighting, throwing things at police, or throwing things at your neighbors, swearing, go to the bathroom. Here's my second offense. So now we do report at an incident, and then you guys are lucky, like I just did 3 last night, I put an orange sticker on your house. There's no other fine associated with that. That sticker stays there for 6 months. So like the 3 I did yesterday, those kids are graduating. But unfortunately, that sticker doesn't come off until October, I forget what the date is, 22nd, give or take. So the previous students are sticking it to you. So just so you know, because they had a party, they didn't care enough not to have a party that day. I get it. I know you guys don't have parties. And truthfully, you don't have a problem with it. I mean, I know it's 5 or more. I use that when I see 250 kids in the backyard or in the basement with a live band and the music playing and the neighbors calling us. If you guys could ever keep the parties under control, you wouldn't have that problem. But I've yet to see where you can stop 100 kids from coming, because everybody knows where the parties are. So they're generally in the same location all the time. So kids just automatically head to that house or houses. Or they know that their friends are having a party. I'm going to go see Steve and hang out with them. That's where, and then social media, which actually kills us because word spreads so fast. And you cannot control that. So we've kind of come up with a little bit of a system where we want you guys to call security and tell us you need to be moving. But don't, when we go to your house, don't say you called and you haven't called yet to say, I want to do it. You need to do it right away. You don't need to wait till there's 300 kids in the back there. We're here to make sure you guys, you know, I need at the end of the 4 years or end of the school school year, I need you guys to go home to your parents, because I made that call with kid got hurt, or not necessarily a student, but been sexually assaulted. Or did we have one where I had to call the parents, and the kid was killed in a car accident. Made that call and walk, or if they're close by, I have to walk up to the family, knock on their door at 2 in the morning, tell them something happened to the child. And it's not a nice feeling, so I don't want something like hard as, but I want you guys to know where we're coming from. Tonight, I'm on the way here, I'm doing some time, like, just drive to the kids are playing football in Pembroke. I see what's the street. I pull up on the sidewalk. He looks at me and said, "What's up?" The kid's right in front. Where do you think he is right now? He's down the station. He'll get fingerprinted and charged publicly. So now that's because he's over 21. He can be held until tomorrow morning. We have that option. That's chances are we'll probably let him go if he doesn't act up. But he'll be held for a couple hours and we'll let him know. So now, so you guys, that stayed for 6 years. You cannot get that removed. As minor as public drinking is, you cannot have that removed from your record. So for the next 6 years, this kid that got locked up, he's graduating. He's going to have to tell his employee he's been arrested. And I'll give you an example. One of the things we did was when I was in college, I went to talk to the athletes about 3 months ago. The athletic director got up. There was 5 people going for a job. He said they were all equal. High honors on 5. He said, but I did the PCI check. One came back with an arrest, public drinking. He's down to 4. Doesn't even have to talk to that person. So that he just lost a job. Now, for the ones who are going to be teachers or work as a policeman or federal government, they're going to do a PCI check. So I'm trying to stress the point. Don't drink on the sidewalks, the street. You see us locking people up. And it's 5 years I've been doing this up in this area. You walk right by and says, we're locking up her, and 3 people are right in front of us. What do you want me to do? Let it go? We cannot give warnings. It's against the law. You cannot drink. And this party. We might, so now, get back to the other sticker. So if you have a party the second time, it's a $500 fine. We're allowed to give to each resident of the house and the landlord. The landlord doesn't like it, and naturally the students don't like it. If you also, so with the initial time, I'll put the orange sticker on, but if you have loud music, now I can write another $500 fine for loud music. So it gets costly real quick. Tonight, one of the houses on each street removed this thing. That's a $100 fine. So I put a new sticker up. The resident of my choice is going to get a $100 fine plus after the party. So if they get $600 tomorrow. I know you guys don't chip in, but college, 3 college kids, $600 won't come in, no matter what. Unless some of you guys are going to beg rich parents and you can call them, give them without explanation. But I know if my kids call me and ask for that, I would not do that. But I don't want to, I can keep on talking. Unfortunately, I think we're trying to get other people out there. I know you guys don't want to be here, but I mean, if there's any questions, this is the time to ask me. If I don't have an answer for you, I'll get you the answer. Don't be afraid to ask. And again, I hope I don't block any of them. Because we're going to be out there this weekend. 6th of July, we're going to be out there. And the last day of the exams on the week after the 12th and the 15th. So, for the seniors, they'll get locked up for the juniors. Remember what I told you, it stays 6 years. The law does not allow me to do that for 6 years. All right? Yes?
So as far as like being drinking on the sidewalk or the road or whatever, does being arrested only happen if you have like a beer bottle?
No.
Or if I have a solo cup, same thing for that?
Wait, I don't see much of soda cups. That's what you guys do. You do Gatorade bottles, the soda bottles. Most of the time, you check people, they'll say beer came right on it. Today, it said to have cancer, right? The sand is dripping in my face. So it's clear cut. We do have devices that can go in your drink to see if it is alcohol. There's always right there. And then we have a machine also to wind the license. PC paper machine. So if you don't give us a false ID, again, that's another criminal charge. If you don't want to go, those expensive IDs that you guys all send away for them once in a while. We have yet to search everybody's background.
Okay, sir, why was it?
I don't know, I did not tell you this. That did not come from the police department. I don't think you should, I know I've discussed this with PC. I don't think you should be allowed to have backpacks when you leave because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see a backpack is being pulled down by 7 cans of beer, a couple bottles of wine, alcohol. But I cannot go in your backpack unless I see something that indicates it's sticking out. We have not done anything with the backpack. So whoever said that, or whoever started that movement, you're not sure. All right? Anybody else?
Thank you, Lieutenant Reddy. Just a show of hands real quick. How many of you are renting an apartment next year from the 02908 Club? 95% of you, okay. So I wanted to get the 02908 Club here today. They are a resource for you and for us. So I wanted to make sure they came up and talked about what they can offer and some of the things they do and some of their expectations. So I'm going to ask Shannon Russell and our staff to come up and say a few words.
Hello. Can everybody hear me okay? Last night I wasn't close enough to the microphone. I got called out on it. So I've met some of you. Some of you, I see some familiar faces out there, and some of you haven't met, but you've seen my emails. Did everybody get my email yesterday? Did everybody read my email yesterday? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Read it. Read it. You're definitely going to get some really good emails, especially the next coming weeks. You guys, I want you to get excited, because in a few weeks, you know, you're going to be able to move into a great house. I just want to just briefly talk to you about some of the responsibilities that we have to you, because we do have responsibilities to you. First and foremost, the number one thing for the 02908 Club is that we want you all to be safe. Of course, we want you to have fun, a little bit, but we want you to be safe. So we do a lot to help ensure that. Every single one of your properties, before you move into it, will be thoroughly inspected by at least 3 different inspection teams to make sure that everything is up to your standards as well as to ours. We have a keyless entry system on every house, so you guys don't have to fumble with keys. You're going to get a key to your apartment, you're going to get a key to your bedroom, but you don't have to worry about getting a key into the house. So that's a great safety feature that we've included so that you don't have to worry about former students who may have not returned their key to the 02908 Club. We will change the code when you move in. We will change it again during the course of the year if you ask us to. Sometimes students give it out to too many people because they don't want to go down the stairs and open the door. So we encourage you not to. We encourage you to treat that code like you would your ATM code. You're not going to give your ATM card PIN to anybody else, so don't do that with the house. The house is even more important than what's on your ATM card. We also have alarms on all the first floors of our houses. The thing about alarms is they only work if you set them. Unfortunately, we've seen over the years, we've seen students have break-ins due to opened doors, unlocked windows. They swore they were locked, but they weren't. They weren't alerted to the fact that somebody might have broken in, even though they were home, because usually those things will happen at a house that's unarmed and windows open and the kids are home for the holidays. So set the alarm, because it will scare off the person. It will alert the police. They are live. I get this question all the time. The ADT system, the alarm systems are through ADT. They are live. So if the alarm does go off at your house, we are contacted. Any one of us property managers at the 02908 Club will be contacted. If we're not available, they call the police right away, and they will send the police to your house. When you get your code, please remember your code. We have students every year who wind up with the police showing up at their house thinking that they're trying to break into their own house. So we don't want that to happen to you either. We also make sure that we have our houses, our properties on the outside and in the hallways are very well lit. Light bulbs do burn out from time to time, though. We try to keep an eye on that, but we're not necessarily walking through the neighborhood at night, so if you do see a burnt out light, just let us know about that. And we also make sure that you have working smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. Your responsibility there, first of all, test them once a month. Have somebody put in a reminder in your phone once a month to have somebody test those to make sure that they're still working. We will test them every 6 months ourselves. We will replace the batteries as needed as well, at least once a year. But please don't remove them, don't dismantle them, don't be cooking, and they go off, and so you take them down. You guys got to leave them up, okay? They're there for your protection. We also ask that you just, keep the property clean. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's got to be perfectly clean, but just we want it to be safe. So you're not going to have stuff in your stairway or in the doorway. God forbid if there's an emergency. You guys all know there was a fire up here a couple of years ago. That's one of the worst days we've ever had up here. We don't want to see a repeat of that. So please just make sure that there's nothing blocking doors, blocking hallways. Keep yourselves safe and your roommates. And one of the other things, one of the big responsibilities I want you guys to really try to take this year is don't just consider yourself PC students. Consider yourself to be, like Stanley said, your residents. You guys are going to be citizens of Providence, of Elmhurst. There's some responsibility there for that. It's not just partying. It's not just walking back and forth to campus. It's not. It has to be that you're having some respect, regardless of if all of your neighbors are students or if some of them are students. If you're on Tyndall, if you're on Pinehurst, a lot of your neighbors are not students. Some of your neighbors are 80-year-old women who work in hospice, who they spend their days helping people say goodbye to their family members. You have some neighbors who have lived here for 60, 70, 80 years. You have some mothers and fathers who have children who are trying to get them to bed at a reasonable hour. You have to be mindful of that, and especially if you're on those streets and if you know that you have a neighbor that's not a student, show some pride in PC. You guys are friars, okay? And that's something to be really proud of. You're wearing your shirts, you're wearing your shirt, you wear your hats, wear it in pride, and introduce yourselves. Let your neighbors know that, hey, I go to PC, I live next door to you. We'll try to do our best to be good and to not be too loud, but hey, here's my phone number. My name is John Smith, here's my phone number. If it ever gets out of hand, if you ever need someone to talk to, if you ever need any help shoveling your driveway, if you ever need any help raking your leaves, feel free to give us a call. Remember, you guys are friars. You guys are not just friars, you're students, you're tenants, but you're citizens and your neighbors, and you have to be treating these neighbors who live here year-round, year after year, the way that you want mom and dad and grandma and grandpa to be treated where they live. So that's probably one of the most important things I can ask you guys to do besides being safe. Community service opportunities, we always have them. I know that some of you are in clubs and organizations where you need those hours, and I know that there's a lot of you who just want the hours. You just want to be part of the neighborhood and really make an impact. You can always contact me. You'll get a tenant handbook. You've already gotten it when you got your lease, but you'll get a new one when you move in. Go through it. A lot of important information in there, a lot of helpful things that are going to help you. So just definitely go through it. You guys are going to have responsibilities now, paying bills. For those of you who may not be paying them right now, how many of you guys pay bills every month? Like any of you guys, any of you pay your own cell phones? Any of you pay your own car payments? Your own car insurance? Your own gas? Come on. All right, there we go. We got your own food. All right? You guys are going to have a gas bill, an electric bill, an oil bill. It's the real world now. And this is just to get you, don't forget to pay your oil bill. We had like 19 houses at Christmas time that they ran out of oil because they all went home and they didn't listen to me. So read your emails from me because there's always something in there that you need to read. And you'll see I color code them too, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. Like I said, let us know. Your responsibility, just let us know. Let us know if there's anything that you guys need, anything that you have questions on, anything you need help with. We're here for you. We have 3 property managers alone that live in your neighborhood. I'm not going to tell you where, but they live right in your neighborhood. They can walk to your house in 5 seconds if they needed to. You know where our office is, so we're always nearby. There's always someone that's available to help you. 3 o'clock in the morning, if you're locked out, you may or may not get somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can try. And if we're around, if someone's up, we're going to come and we're going to help you guys out. Otherwise, do not kick in the door. That's one of the biggest expenses that I have to charge everyone for at the end of the year is all that. You guys don't have any kicked in doors, do you? They live in our houses right now. Where do you guys live? Radcliffe? Eaton? Any kicked in doors? Couple. Yeah. Any holes in the walls? You wouldn't do it at your parents' house, I hope. So just treat our house with respect and treat your neighbors with respect, and you guys will have a great experience. You really will. We have a lot of exciting things that are going to come up through the year, and if there's anything that you guys need, like I said, you can always feel free to reach out to us, and but read the emails, okay? All right.
Thank you, Shannon. I'm now going to ask Lieutenant John Dunbar from our Campus Safety Office to come up. And before he speaks, I just want to tell you that we've been lucky enough to have Lieutenant Dunbar as part of our community for, I believe, over 25 years here at Providence College. He's a resource, a real legitimate resource for all of you, both on and off campus. So, John Dunbar.
I'm also the crime prevention officer here at the local. So, as far as crime prevention, the main thing I want to stress to you guys is common sense and judgment. When students arrive here, it's freshmen, the parents, want to be enhanced. What advice can you give to my son or daughter? First, is common sense and judgment. I'm going to add to that. You guys have seen discretion. Big thing, discretion. You're going to smoke, do it discreetly. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to drink, do it discreetly. Sometimes we have some houses off campus where we have a nice little front area where they party. But they can also go in the back. But instead, they want to take the front. You know what I mean? It's like, take your ass in the back. Stop impeding traffic. You know what I mean? You go over there, and I was used to getting all worked up. They're calling us, oh, there's like 50, 60, the numbers keep going. Go back in the house and be discreet. So, with that being said, the other important thing is you guys got to watch each other. Okay? You got to be brothers and sisters people. Very, very important because off campus now, things will change. You guys live in a metropolitan city. We do have a lot of undesirables that walk around. You walk around in the summertime, you will see it's a dead area. No one's around. As soon as you guys come back in September, all the nitwits, all the creepers are walking by and they know there's parties, they know students leave valuables in their cars and plain things. They won't break your window. Don't leave valuables in your car in plain view. If your car has a nice stereo, don't jam it in your crib. Jam on 95. When you get on Douglas Avenue, turn that shit down. Trust me, they will follow you and they will break your window. Okay, because off-campus people are watching, they're looking. You know, there's a lot of poverty out there, a lot of people out there who just don't know any better. All they know how to do is to steal and take the opportunity of someone who forgot to lock the door and close the window, like she was explaining. You know what I mean? They watch it. I'm not saying they sit there creepy, but they watch. They know the students go away on break. They know the students are gone for certain holidays, you know what I mean? So they're watching. If you have a big 60-inch television, don't leave it right in the window playing Madden where the whole world can see it. Put a curtain, put something. Do it discreetly. Be very, very discreet. If I can offer a class gift of credit, I would offer discretion 101. Seriously, you know. So with that being said, common sense, good judgment, and discretion. Watch each other, watch each other's back. You know, when school's in session, this area becomes like a Mardi Gras. I've seen. We have kids coming in from all over the state, high school kids, you know, and they're looking for parties. This is part of what frustrates the police. Now, if there's a big gathering and the police have to call in a whole bunch of cruisers to break up that party, they're actually crippling the city by all coming to this area. So that this is the moment. The lieutenant who was here, he was very calm tonight, actually very calm last night, but he's a hard ass. And catch him on a bad day, he will lock you up. And he has no problem with that. He's been here for 5 years in this area, and he's very strict. You have some officers who are more strict than him. Then you have some officers who are just up here to make the money. See, you may be off campus drinking and you get away with it, you know, most of the time, but take that one time for that person to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sign for the PC tonight. You know, I ain't doing no shit with those kids. First person I see will get locked up. And sure enough, you've been walking around all year with the bruise in your hand, you know, whatever. This one guy or girl will lock you up. So like you said, it stays on your record. Right now, Stan and I, between St. Patrick's Day, the golf party the other day, we're going on campus and we're talking to all the people who are in your situation now on campus, or where you're going to be, and we're letting them know that whatever they do, it could affect senior week, it could affect you walking down the aisle for graduation. So we got to be very cautious about this stuff here. Other thing, if you have an emergency off campus, Providence College Security is not a first responder off campus. We're a first responder on campus. God forbid if something happens, don't call us first, call the Providence Police or the Providence Fire Department, because that way they have jurisdiction. We don't really have jurisdiction off campus. The supervisors, we go off campus and we kind of work with the police, we assist them. If you have an emergency, contact the police, then call us, because then we can send our supervisor over there to investigate whatever's going on. Also, this past year, we didn't plan for it, but a bunch of people came back from New Year. So the police department was upset. They came back for New Year's celebration because mom and dad are around, kicking it in your new crib, you know what I mean, do whatever. Be discreet. If you come back for New Year, don't have a huge gathering with a ton of people, have a little small gathering and just be super discreet, right? Because they're always pointing their finger at us. We're not the only college in the area, as far as residents are concerned, but we are the main college. If something happens and it's J. Wu, that's what they blame for us, BC. It's damn BC because it's not always BC. We have Bryant, we have Rod Williams, and Rick students within the area. So those things right there are very, very important. And if you have a gathering in your house and there's way too many people, call the police and call us. So that way it's documented. Say you have a party. Some of you guys may have noticed this past golf party. Some of the seniors didn't want anyone at their house because they have stickers and they've already been to court. So if you have a situation where you feel there's way too many people and you can't control it and you want to avoid getting a sticker, please call the property because that's recorded line and call us and then we'll have a sergeant and we'll call the police to work with them to make sure. But at least this recorded thing, CYA, look at CYA. Cover your ass. CYA, cover your ass. Make a phone call. So now they know, well, hey, look, the residents at 54, 52 each be called up. So, when we respond there, we're going to be, kind of disperse people. Always cover yourself. Always watch out for each other. Keep things discreet. When you leave for break, take your valuables, the long breaks, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, take your valuables with you and just be super alert. Like I said, they're watching you every move off campus. Certain people that live in the area, and they're looking for the opportunity to go in your car and steal something. So don't leave anything is playing you. Be super discreet. Make sure I collect everything. Yeah, that pretty much it. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right. Someone asked me about this weekend. They're going to be having inflatable stuff outside their backyard. I'm not going to play this person up because they're really laughing, but I'm going to look into that. If you guys have any questions concerning gatherings that you want to have, contact my office, call me or Stan, and we'll look into it without answer. And Lieutenant Wright really respects us, so we work well with him. So call us if you want to ask him any questions. Any questions?
Thank you, Lieutenant Reddy. And just to quickly, before I bring up my next speakers, to piggyback on what Lieutenant Reddy said, and Lieutenant Dunbar, it's something your parents always tell you when you're young, right? We're not worried about you, we're worried about everybody else, right? The one thing you can't control is what you can't control, right? So one of the things we always hear from students who are off campus, they always say, we can control our own parties. And the problem is, if it's outside and it's large, you really can't control it, right? It's one of the things we always talk about. When Lieutenant Dunbar and I are on the streets and we go to a party that we've been told about, that there's 300 people there, you want to know what doesn't fit? It's not you guys, because I see Providence college student, then I see 3 40-year-old guys. Unless your dads are partying with you, which I doubt, those guys probably don't belong, right? And that's what we worry about. Certain things you can't control, right? So when Lieutenant Dunbar says be smart, be discreet, know what's going on, those are the things he's talking about, right? Be smart. Nobody's ever going to tell you not to have a good time, right? I'm going to bring up 2 of your peers. 2 wonderful young men here who are living off campus, who were in your seats last year, who can talk about their experiences and share some things with you. So,
hey, how's everybody going? My name is Spencer. This is my friend Chris, and so we've actually been living off campus for 2 years now. So yeah, like they're saying, we were actually in your shoes at one point. So before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to just stop us and fire away. So basically, I think the biggest thing about living off campus for us was it's kind of just like an introduction to becoming an adult. Like Shannon and everybody's touched upon today so far, there's a lot of responsibilities that come with it. It's obviously a ton of fun. I've had some of my best memories, down on Eaton Street, like I'm sure most of you guys will. But there's a lot of things you got to do to kind of, keep your house in check, make sure that things are still running properly. I think a big thing for like everybody is, just keeping your stuff clean. You don't have people coming and cleaning your house every day like you did in dorms and suites and stuff, and things can get out of hand pretty quickly, you'll see, especially like after a long weekend. And you just got to make sure you got to like bring your trash out on trash day, 'cause if not, like you're basically screwed. Like if all your cans fill up, there's nothing you can do. All your trash is just going to stay outside. The locals are going to rip through it. Your backyard's going to be a mess. I'd say like a situation that we had, kind of like what Shannon said, you have to really like check up on your house at all times. We had a situation where we went on and left for break, for winter break, and we forgot to set our heat on one of our floors, and we had a pipe burst, and water got all over a few rooms and kind of destroyed some stuff. So that really sucked. Definitely prevent that if you can. Now you know where we live. And also, like she said, paying your bills is a huge thing. It's honestly something that I don't think any of us in our house were ready for. We just didn't really think about it. And then, every month when you get that $50 Venmo request from one of your buddies, it's kind of a rude awakening. But it's definitely important, you have your heat, your electricity, all this stuff that you got to pay for. And these are things you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. So getting it done now, as a college student, it was a great introduction to the type of lifestyle that you're going to be living in the future. I think my buddy Chris is going to take over and say some more stuff.
Yeah, like Spencer said, we've been roommates for the past 2 years off campus. One of the things I want to touch on, like Lieutenant Dunbar said, open containers. It's going to happen to some of you. It's going to happen to your friends. You just have to be smart. Use common sense. There's no point in walking across the street with an open beer just to have that one extra sip or whatever it may be. You just got to be smart. Use common sense. You don't want to get locked up. It's not fun. It's expensive. Not a phone call you don't want to be making to your parents. Like everyone else touched on, you got to respect the neighbors. You're part of a bigger community now. It's not your classmates that are living next door. It's people that need to get to bed, go to work in the morning. So you just got to respect your neighbors. Safety. I know a lot of people get worried about the safety, house break-ins, car break-ins. I wouldn't be worried about it all that much if you're smart. If you don't leave your laptop on your passenger seat and you don't leave anything valuable in your car, your car will not get broken into. You just got to be smart. Got to take the precautionary steps to make sure that that you don't put yourself in the way of trouble. You can't be walking down the street at 4 in the morning and expect something good to happen to you, because that's just not how it goes. And also, like Shannon said, read the emails. You'll get a lot of them, but they have important stuff in them. You need to read them. They're important. Guess that's all we had. If anyone has any questions for us. Back there, was that a question? No? All right. Okay. Thanks, guys. We'll be around after if you have questions.
Thank you, gentlemen. A few more speakers. I'm now going to ask Dr. Jim Campbell, our Assistant Vice President of Student Development and Compliance, to come up and say a few words.
Good evening. How the heck are you? Moving off campus, exciting. I was reading that new book by James Comey recently, right? You know who James Comey is? Who knows? Who knows? James Comey, former FBI director, didn't get along so well with the president. So he wrote this book, A Higher Loyalty. And one of the things he was describing was when he first went off to school, and he was in a house. It was like an apartment, because they ran out of dormitory space at the College of William and Mary. And so he's with 17 other freshmen in this big house. And he talked about how, it often happens in groups. One guy got identified and was regularly bullied and teased, sometimes in pretty cruel ways. And this was him writing at least 35 years later, saying how ashamed he was that he didn't do anything about that. 35, all the things going on in his life, he said he has remained, to this day, feels ashamed of himself. Now, presumably he's done a lot of other good things in his life too. But that story stuck with me, and I was thinking about Providence College. You guys, as you move off campus, I hope you continue to do what you have been doing, because I get to see and hear so many stories about people who do step up, who take care of each other, who intervene and prevent bad things from happening. And as you move off campus, I hope you just continue to do that, Remember some of your bystander training, the 3 Ds? Anyone know them? Remember? Can you name one of them? The 3 Ds of being an active bystander? Anybody? Come on, one of them. Right? All right. Direct intervention is one, right? Direct intervention where If it makes sense, a lot of times it doesn't, but if it makes sense, step up directly and intervene if it's safe, right? What's another one? Anybody? Need a review session. Let's plan another night so we can come back and review that. All right, right, direct, delegate, get someone else. Make a phone call, call 911, call a friend, call someone, get some help, okay? Right, direct, delegate, or distract. Some of you are really good at it, right? Like just intervene. Oh, come on, let's go to the restroom. Aren't you in this class? Just intervene in a way to kind of diffuse things. Those really powerful tools that you all use. All right, students have been using that before we started doing bystander training. But we have some good evidence that people have started doing those things even more, taking care of each other. On campus, when you live on campus, something bad happens or looks like it might happen, you call a hall director or you call public safety. Off campus, that's probably going to be 911, okay? But also, as Lieutenant Dunbar was saying, call public safety too, because that opens up other kinds of supports for you. Then it becomes a report. We know about it. Student affairs can help, right? We have 24/7 a counselor on call, remains available to you even off campus. 24/7 administrator on call, okay? 24/7 you have EMTs, ambulances available, just not the campus folks. They'll come from fire department or one of those agencies, okay? So those services are available. When things go wrong, it's usually because people have waited too long. Listen to your gut. Listen to your instincts. You kind of know when something feels creepy or something feels scary or dangerous. Jump in and sooner. Don't be, the Penn State fraternity. Don't, people knew when they interviewed those guys, when the student died. People knew something was going wrong there, but they waited too long. I had, many of you are going to be living in buildings with balconies. I hate balconies. And the reason is, some years ago, working at a college where a student's sitting just on a second floor balcony, right, some drinking going on, but nothing crazy, and he fell off. And was taken to the hospital, and then I had to do the notification with his friends about his death. And his experience I will never, ever forget, And no one's trying to do anything bad there, just, real life hits you. And so taking care of each other, preventing those things, watch out for balconies. Put some razor wire along those ledges. Nobody sits up there, okay? But know that student affairs, the college is still here. He's still part of the Fry family. Come to us, let us know. We can still help with all kinds of things. So I call, public safety, can get that enlisted, or calling someone directly. I'm also the Title IX coordinator for the college. You have issues around harassment, sexual assault, any of those kind of just questions about that stuff, come to us and we can help sort it out. We can give you some support, figure out what to do about it, okay? Those resources are all still there. We have me and 9 deputy Title IX coordinators. So if you want to talk to me, you want to talk to a woman, all those resources are there. Just check out our website, okay? I hope you all have a great exam period and summer and a great time in the fall, wherever you are living. Thank you.
We have one last speaker, and then I'll put up the instructions to do the survey if you could, and then any questions if you want to ask, you can see us afterwards. I'm going to ask Dave O'Connor to step up, who's part of the off-campus and citizenship department.
I know you guys are a great class. I had the opportunity to live off campus in Pembroke in 2014. Living off campus was my decision to end up staying in Providence and buying a house. That senior year was fantastic because I got to explore the city. Right? A lot of us, who here studied abroad? Right? So when you guys studied abroad, and I want to be slightly interactive, what were some of the things that made you enjoy your, where did you study and what did you get out of that experience? in my shirt, isn't it? Kate. So where'd you study? Florence. And what did you do when you were in Florence? Travel abroad, right? Did you go out to the same bar every weekend? Kind of. Well, that's Florence. That's unfortunate. We're working on a program trying to get out of the board. But you went to other places too, right? Other countries, right? Come on. Yeah. Who else? Where'd you go? Did you study? Go. Did you travel around at all? Would your experience have been as great if you only stayed around? No, right? And that's what I want you guys to understand. Who here is going to be staying in their house throughout the course of the summer? Raise your hand. All right, a lot of you. My friends who lived here over the summer, it was their best time that they had at Providence College. What happened was they were exploring during the summer, and then when the academic year started and everybody else came back, they got stuck in this, this is what we do each weekend. And it was like it was in like March of our senior year, where people were just like, this is really frustrating. We just let our whole senior year go by, and we missed out on so many opportunities to see what we're doing over the summer. So we at off-campus living and citizenship, besides addressing issues of housing and safety, we also want to encourage you guys to explore the city. Providence has some of the best culinary, atmosphere in the city, or in the country. It also has some of the best music scenes. It's super affordable. It's really affordable. People, my friends who live in Boston, I'm like, why do you live in Boston? We're paying 5 times as much for the city, right? So if you're staying off campus, use this opportunity to meet your neighbors. My friend Kaylee lived across this woman who's in her 80s right now. Several years ago, to this day, she still comes back and celebrates her birthday with her. Right? These things are it's amazing. I've gotten to meet this woman. She's fantastic. She lives on Tyndall. Like, these are the neighbors, right, who are going to make your experience that much better. Even if they're not people who live here all the time. If they're Johnson & Wales students, right? If they're Rhode Island College students, if they're Bryant students. Meet your neighbors, because when shit hits the fan, it's going to happen, right? Like, there's going to be people out of control. You want to know who your neighbor is so that they can help you address that situation. If you can't get out of that situation, you need to have those allies. But if you're if you're saying, well, I'm not going to associate with this house because they're going to a different college, then when parties get out of hand, it's going to be even more problematic. But if you're like, oh, Mike, he goes Johnson Well, I know I can go to him, and he's going to tell me what's going on, and we can resolve this together. Right? I also want to talk to you guys about the opportunity. I know many of you. Jake, great guy, this was in South Africa. We have Sweeney over here, Urban Action. A lot of you guys are involved in the community already, and I think living off campus allows you to put your feet out there one step further. There's an event, a volunteer opportunity called the Walking School Bus. So you can literally have the opportunity to walk kids who live in the neighborhood, to Harris Companion, to get to see the neighborhood, to get to know you. If you're an elementary, special ed student, fantastic opportunity to explore what it's like for a youth, or a child, to go to school in Providence. There's also opportunities at the rec center, which is on Camden Avenue. The Smithville CDC has plenty of opportunities to get involved as well. If you have internships, are people here, who here is looking for a work study position or internship this summer and wants to stick around Providence? None of you. You all have jobs, or I hope you have jobs. Who here is not working at all? Who here is working this summer? All right, thank God. Sweet. Also, August 22nd, there's a Smithville block party. So you'll hear these two towns, Smith Hill and Elmhurst, being thrown at you. They're two neighborhoods. Technically, depending on who you talk to, you live in Smith Hill or Elmhurst. They've changed over the years. They've changed the lines voted. So if you hear that, that is your neighborhood. Right? So who here lives in Providence? Every one of you lives in Providence. Congratulations. It took you 4 years to figure that out. You spend more time here than you do in Connecticut, New Jersey, California. Right? You are Providence residents. You have a 1 Cunningham-Square address. You may not have a license, but you live here. Right? Next year, living on campus, you really live here. You're going to be dealing with the Providence police. They're not, you can't say, oh, I'm just visiting. I didn't know the rules. You abide by the Providence laws, right? Get to know your city council people. Get to know your neighbors. And vote. Next year is a voting opportunity. Who here is registered in the state of Rhode Island? All All right, good job, guys. Register to vote. We'll have opportunities in the fall to make it easy for you guys. But if you're not taking your citizenship aspect, your civic duties, if you're not being responsible and not taking them seriously, then when something happens, it doesn't look good, right? If God forbid you get arrested and you're standing there and you're just like, just not, Your Honor, I'm just a visitor here. The judge says, no, you're not. You've been living here for 4 years. And why don't you know the law? Why aren't you, if you say like, if you have these things and you register, like, I'm a taxpayer because I own a house, right? That gives me a little bit more power to talk to my counselors. That's how the world works. So use this year to understand that those little things matter. And then those bits of protections, as Dunbar said, right, protect yourself. But anyway, discussion, yeah. The last note is to offer you guys an opportunity to explore the city. I have two things. Everyone pull out your phones. And I want you to put this down somewhere in the city. The first opportunity is Rhode Island fruit fights. Right? Rhode Island fruit fights each month, pretty much each month, features a different type of food. In May, it's burgers. Right? There's a code you can use called Friartown. It'll give you a discount. Right? You put that code in, and for $15, you get access to go to 27 different restaurants in the state of Rhode Island, many of them are in Providence, and get a free burger. You go to 3 of those restaurants, most of them are going to be new restaurants, your money's been saved. I was going to put it as a proposal that we buy you all these, but I didn't, because this is your first step of being a citizen, right? If we continue to support you with all of these resources, it's not going to do anything when you move forward. You guys have to want to explore. I will be happy to set those partnerships up. I'll be happy to introduce you to programs like Rhode Island Food Fights, but it's up to you guys to take advantage of those things. The other one is, who here knows the New York system on some street? Sweet. So I was talking to Bobby yesterday, and he said anybody who goes in with their college ID for now until next Sunday can get a free taco or a free hot wiener. All right? And the hot wiener is a Rhode Island staple. And the reason we're doing this is because we want you guys to get off of Eat Street, to get off of Pickle, and start to explore the city, right? And I'm going to ask Baba at the end of the week, hey Baba, how many people came in to take advantage of the free taco and the free hot steel, whatever you chose? And that's going to kind of give us a sense of like, how engaged are these students? How much do they want to be involved with that neighborhood? And these are important things to take advantage of. Because if we get 100 people that go there, that's going to make Stan and I say, hey, these are things that students are interested in. We want to support these programs. We'll take time to be creative and offer you more opportunities to explore these things. All right? So enjoy your food. Thanks for coming out. And thank you for putting me on the spot. So here you go.
Before everybody leaves, real quick, behind me is the 1-minute survey that I want you to do. By the way, I'm super proud of all of you who stayed, because half of you left. Dean Sears told me to tell you that anybody who stayed, he's paying for your fall tuition, so why don't you go see Dean Sears in his office, okay? Thank you for coming. Please do the survey. Good luck on your finals. Good luck on all your projects. Sweeney, take care of yourself.